Yo, this is I Run Fast, and this is a video about, Drew Brees, the legendary Saints quarterback who only won one Super Bowl in his whole career. I think he's the most disrespected MVP caliber quarterback in all time. And this video is about to be the reason why. Yeah, the contents or the context within this video, I didn't go really in too deep with the seasons that I don't really think is important, such as his rookie season, his sophomore season, and then junior and so forth. I went deeper into context with the seasons that I think are important, in which I think he should have won MVP in. So Saints fans, if you're watching this, please correct me, please school me in the comments, please write a whole paragraph that I would love to read in the comments, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I would love y'all feedback. So here we go. Drew Brees, who I think is the most disrespected MVP caliber QB in the history of the league. So, last time I did, Lamar was the most disrespected MVP ever. I think Drew Brees, I'm not gonna lie, looking at Drew Brees, his case, bro, yo, it's actually kind of wild, bro. I'm not even ready to hold you. Like looking at the box score, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why Drew Brees did not win at least one MVP, which I think is because he was in the era of Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, all of that. I just think he just dealt a bad hand and just put in the era with a bunch of GOAT QBs. Here we go, man. This is the video about Drew Brees and why I think he's the most disrespected MVP caliber QB in the history of the league. So, Drew Brees, quarterback, he was 6 feet, kind of short, I'm not going to lie. He was drafted first pick in the second round out of Purdue. And he was actually the second QB picked behind Michael Vick, and Michael Vick was the first pick overall. So, his rookie season, it was 2001. I was a baby at the time. I was an infant, bro. I was, sucking my thumb and all that. Pause. But yeah, bro, I was an infant, so I do not remember this time. During the 2001 season, I think Doug Flutie, he started for the Chargers, and they was 5-11, and Drew Brees ain't played a down that season. He was watching from the ranks, watching from the sidelines, studying all that internship type stuff. But the next year, 2002, Drew Brees, he had 3,200 yards, 17 touchdowns, and 16 interceptions. It's his first season. Let him get right, warm up. You know what I'm saying? 02, he was 8-8, so he was mid his second year, and then 03. He was 2-9, and he had 2,100 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions. We just gonna skip over that. We just gonna skip over that. Goosebumps. Maybe he was nervous. 2004. This was his first Pro Bowl, I believe. Yeah, it was his first Pro Bowl, and he had 65% completion percentage, 3,100 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. So, well deserved by the San Diego quarterback in 2004. This was his first Pro Bowl year, so he was ascending and all that. 05, the Chargers were 9-7. He had a decent year, I'm not gonna lie. He had 64% completion percentage, 3,500 yards, 24 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions. Is pretty bad. That's really bad, I'm not gonna lie. But I watched Flemlo Raps. He's like another YouTuber, football YouTuber, and all that. But if you go watch his videos, you would know it this year. This is when he tore or broke his rotator cuff, and this would change his trajectory of his career for the future, bro. Like he was messed up, bro. Like his throwing shoulder, and it was on his throwing shoulder, so he had to conduct like a bunch of preparation just to throw the ball correctly during NFL games. Like it was bad, bro. He got badly injured on the last game, in this season, I think against the Broncos. Defensive lineman, hope I say this right, Gerard Warren, he landed on Brees, causing him to tear his labrum, which he needed surgery for the following offseason. In addition, he had a labrum tear, and Brees had damaged his rotator cuff, dislocated his shoulder, and the recovery period at the time, was longer than the Chargers anticipated. And initially, Drew Brees was supposed to go to the Dolphins, but the Dolphins was like, nah, you hurt. So then the Saints picked Drew Brees up, and the Chargers actually replaced Drew Brees with Phillip Rivers, the man with a whole roster as, children. But yeah, let's continue. Drew Brees was the first team All-Pro in '06. Saints were 10-6. He had 64.3 completion percentage, 4,400 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. Drew Brees balled out. You know, he said, "Bump the haters. I'm gonna go to a different team, and I'm ready to hoop, bro. I'm ready to ball out." And that's exactly what he did. 26 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 4,000 plus yards. That's a solid season. He was a first team All-Pro and a Pro Bowl QB on top of that. So nice job, Drew, for your first year in New Orleans. That second year, the Saints were 7-9. He had 4,400 yards, 28 touchdowns, 18 interceptions. No, it's pretty mid. Nothing really much to say here. You know, second year and then offense. So we gonna let it slide. 2008 though. So far, this was his best year in his career, in which he went for 5,000 yards, 34 touchdowns, and 17 interceptions, bro. But the team went 8-8. Drew Brees, from the box score, was carrying, bro. Put the team on his back and said, you know, I'm going to carry y'all. I'm going to bring y'all to the promised land. And they were mid. It was cool. They were just mid. Still, Drew Brees prevailed, and he went for 5,000 yards plus passing, 30 plus touchdowns, and 17 interceptions. That is really bad. I'm not going to lie. He had an interception issue, bro. 2009, this guy, you know, he was the Pro Bowl QB in the Saints again. He threw for 4,300 yards, 34 touchdowns, you know, 70.6 completion percentage. And this is the year in which Drew Brees won the Super Bowl against Peyton Manning. You know, this was the year where he was getting a lot of glory. I remember watching that Disney Channel, that Disney commercial in which he said he was gonna go to Disney World. You know what I'm saying? This was go to Drew, bro. Go to Drew. And honestly, I think he should have won the MVP this year, and this is why I keep saying he's the most disrespected MVP caliber QB in the history of the league, because Drew Brees had 4,300 yards, 34 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. And the guy who won MVP over him was Peyton Manning, who had 4,500 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 16 interceptions. So when you look at the box score, it's like, bro, like, it's not really that much of a difference when you're looking at statistics. And they both had pretty good records. I think Drew Brees was 13-2 with the Saints in '09. And then Peyton Manning was, I think, 14-2 with the Colts in '09. And so it was kind of crazy that they actually matched up in the Super Bowl. And Drew Brees ultimately won that game and, you know, got his ring over Peyton. So he said, you know what? Like, you know that Giannis or that Embiid and Jokic meme where, you know, Embiid was getting that MVP trophy and Jokic kept running, said he's trying to get a championship. That's what Drew Brees did to Peyton Manning that year. So let's, you know what I'm saying? Congrats, Drew, winning your Super Bowl. I feel like you should have won that MVP that year, but, you know, it's cool. 2010, the year after the Super Bowl, the Saints went 11-5. Drew Brees, 68.1 completion percentage, 4,600 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 22 interceptions. Good God. Looking at this year, I'm not gonna lie, this Drew Brees had an interception issue, but it's cool, you know. Super Bowl hangover. Drew Brees gonna get right. And 2011, this was arguably the best year of his career, in which he went 13-3, 71.2 completion percentage, 5,400 yards, 46 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. And now, when you put context to that, bro was throwing to, I don't even know who these guys are, bro. I'm not ready to hold you. No disrespect to you guys. You guys were in the league. I wasn't, you know, but I do not know who y'all are, bro. Devery Henderson, Robert Meacham, and he was throwing to Jimmy Graham. And Jimmy Graham, I'm not gonna lie, if you didn't know, like, Jimmy Graham was a dog back in the day on the Saints. Like, he had, that year, I think he had, like, 100 catches, 1,300 yards, and, like, 11 touchdowns, something like that. Bro was a beast. So Drew Brees had at least someone to throw to. And I think the running back, Pierre Thomas, he had, like, 1,000 yards, close to 1,000 yards, all purpose, with like 6 touchdowns total. So he had some weapons to throw to, but receiver wise, it wasn't really nothing like that. And he still had his best year statistically as a QB on the Saints. And the Saints went 13-3 on top of that. I just need to know who won the MVP that year. And the guy who won MVP in 2011 was none other than Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers, you know, he threw for 4,600 yards, 45 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. So I'm not gonna lie, bro's TD to interception ratio was really good. So the only case why Aaron Rodgers would win over Drew Brees in that case is because of that stat right there, bro. Plus his record was 14-1, and I think they won the Super Bowl that year as well. Aaron Rodgers, you know, won the MVP over Drew Brees in 2011. So, you know, first it was Peyton Manning, and then it was Aaron Rodgers. That's already both of the QBs that I named earlier in this video, bro. I didn't even mention Tom Brady yet, bro. I don't even think, like, according to the media, I don't think he was considered, like, the best QB in the league ever in his career, which is sad to say. Because, bro, his stats for saying he was one of the best, if not the best QB in the league for some of those years, bro. Especially in 29, especially in 2009, bro. So I don't know why he didn't get the respect that he deserves on that year, but Peyton Manning, Peyton Manning agenda. I don't know, bro. But Drew Brees was the most disrespected QB in the history, or MVP caliber QB in the history of the league. I got this idea from a comment in my comment section on my last video. So let me shout out this guy, Bucky Wild 6493. Thank you, Buck Wild, for the comment. It really sparked an idea to create this video for Drew Brees and on why he's the most disrespected MVP caliber QB of all time. So thank you for watching this video, and please subscribe and go back and watch my videos about Lamar. Yes, I'm a Ravens fan, so if y'all want smoke, if y'all want to argue about Lamar, I ain't running from it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro. This was a video about Drew Brees, and thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing more content like this on like football, and the Olympics coming up, and I ran track in college, so I might be doing some content with track as well. So just be on the lookout for that. But if any of y'all have any other ideas for videos I could do in the future, just let me know in the comment section. I'd definitely be looking. But yeah, thank you, and stay tuned for more.